Cool. Hey everyone, I'm Joey. I'm the co-founder of Nook, and I wanted to just do a little bit of a different format here, which is a long form. So longer video, not super snappy, not really focused on the product itself or the UI or the inner workings of how Nook works, but bigger picture, where we think Nook is headed as we enter a new year, hit some big milestones, and I just want to kind of share some thoughts off the top of my head. So this is a little bit more informal, more rambling, and hopefully helpful to you though, as I kind of share how I think about Nook with my co-founders and team and how we plan on moving forward and making it more effective and higher earning for you. So in this, I want to cover, how we started Nook, recap really why we started Nook. I won't go too deep into the how, but the why is the more important. And most importantly, where we think it's going based on what we've learned since we launched last year, what we've heard from you as customers, and what I hear daily, right? I respond to a lot of the customer inquiries, the inbound. I do some outbound as well, reaching out to different customers across our social channels, across email. And I think this is a good reflection point to pause and look forward to the year ahead. Again, not about really the technicals too much, but the general direction of where we're going. And if you have any questions about this or for me and the team, you can always reach out, team@nookapp.xyz, and we'll be happy to answer any questions. But taking a step back, we started Nook last year, and so I left my role at Coinbase because I saw Coinbase was doing a fantastic job of connecting people to trade opportunities. If you want to trade Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc., it was an awesome place to do that. However, if you're not a trading person like me and you do not want to be kind of dealing with the volatility of trade and the attention required, so upswings, downswings, etc., candlesticks, and everything that comes with trading a volatile asset or even a non-volatile asset, I think we have a different mission at Nook, right? And so our mission at Nook is to connect you to higher earnings. And so I saw a lot of people trading, but I didn't feel like I had a tool that reflected how I wanted to earn, which was taking existing assets and earning passively from them. I think that's just kind of in my nature of how I earn and how I transact with my portfolio. Everyone has their different ways of earning. I do a little bit of trading, but it's really not my main focus because I'm really not good at it. And I don't ever think that will be my nature. And so I want to follow that and be true. And that's how we started Nook with my two co-founders from Coinbase. Since launching, we've hit a lot of milestones. We've grown not just the company, but also the revenue, the number of transactions. We've transacted over $500 million through Nook. So that's deposits, withdrawals, rebalances. We have over $10 million in deposits on the platform today. So it's really been great to see people align with this and share their feedback and say, yes, I want to earn. I want to connect to these markets. And I think that's given us a lot of validation of the direction that we're headed. However, there's definitely been some good feedback of where this needs to go, because I think what we launched initially was very much an early prototype, almost, an early bet to see if this would work or not. So in June, we launched the app only for iOS, only on the base chain. So that's a network that allows you to connect to different markets. And we only launched one market. And at the beginning, that was a huge feat for us. But we quickly started to realize as we onboard more and more customers and as this grows, two things. One, we need to do this at scale. So one market wasn't going to be enough. And even the 5+ markets we have available today is not going to be enough. That's just pure economics and capital markets. The more money you bring on in terms of capital, the more liquidity and volume you need in terms of these markets. So what was once a $50 million market could have supported all of our customers. That's not going to work anymore, which is good, right? We're growing, and now we connect you to over $700 million in the markets as we connect to more and more markets. But that number is going to have to eventually eclipse $1 billion, and then again to the tens of billions, right? As we connect you to more and more markets, and as we grow, everything's going to have to scale accordingly. So that was where we started. We went from one market, then to 2, and then 4, and now 5. But that's not where we're stopping. We plan on launching many more in the future. Excited to share a little bit more about that in this video. But essentially, that's what we learned is we need to scale the capital markets just as quickly as our customers are joining. And the second part is I think we learned a lot in terms of how we communicate what this is. I think I wanted to make the experience as simple as possible, fewest number of taps, kind of coming down to the essence of it of I don't want to have to really think too hard about all the steps necessary. Like this should feel more like Robinhood and less like a crypto wallet or some self-custodial wallet. And I think we've done a very good job at that. But we want to still give you and our users as much information as you need to really drill down into what makes these markets and how Nook works. And I think in that process of trying to make everything as simple as possible, we could have provided more information. That's what we're hearing from our customers. So that's why we've released the market activity section within the protocol details page. We've also released the market health section as well. So you can see all the transactions in terms of withdrawals, deposits into each market, not just your transactions, but everyone's transactions going into that market. You can also see key info in terms of TVL, who the curator is, and how much liquidity there is in each market. And that is really the type of fidelity we want to give you without making the flow complex. So we made a super simple flow to start. We're going to keep the flow super simple. But if you want to learn more, and I really do encourage you to learn more because this is what we're doing in the background, you can without it feeling like a very cumbersome, clunky app. And so I think those are the two main takeaways is more markets, more transparency, more information, really. And that's where we plan on taking it based on what we've heard. We've learned this directly from you. We're seeing it in the numbers, and we want to align there and go there together. So what comes next? Great question in terms of what comes next. I think the main things that we're focused on is the more markets piece right now. So right now we're live on Base, but we plan to expand to 7+ other chains within the EVM network. So that's the Ethereum network. These are all L2s that roll up to Ethereum. They're all highly trusted, transact billions of dollars annually, and trusted by a lot of our protocol partners. So Aave, Morpho, two of the top protocols in the space, all built on these chains, these networks, because they are trusted and because they are interoperable. So they all work together. So you can take money from the Base chain to the Optimism chain and move them seamlessly through Nook, right? So Nook is just connecting you to these different chains. I would kind of think of these chains as different markets almost. So there's the New York Stock Exchange, but there's also the London Exchange, right? And then there's the Hong Kong-based stock exchange. These are all different markets for different people to transact on. And Optimism, Base, Unichain, these are all similar to that in terms of there's opportunity on each chain. And we don't want you to have to feel like you are subject to only one chain or one opportunity. But we also want it to be a pain to go from one to another like it is now in the current environment. So chain rollout is going to be a huge thing. More technically, we're upgrading the Morpho vaults from V1 to V2. So Morpho, one of our two protocols, has invested a lot of money into, well, not a lot of money, but a lot of time into upgrading their system. And we're really excited to support it. So we're going to be working on rolling that out. And then lastly is other protocols as well. So we have Aave, we have Morpho, both excellent protocols. But there are some smaller protocols in this space that we feel like are relatively very diligent, very safe, have been very focused over the past years building, and we've seen a lot of customers adopt them outside of Nook, and we don't want that to be kind of off limits or inaccessible through Nook. Like we eventually want everything to be accessible through Nook. Our mission is higher earnings for everyone, and the way we get there is to reach those markets, reach those protocols, and build there for you. One last thing that we are exploring is other assets. So currently you can deposit USDC. That's the main asset that you transact on Nook with. However, there's other stablecoins and there's other non-stablecoin assets. So there's other stablecoins like USDT, AUSD. I won't go too much into detail with those, but basically just gives you another way to transact and tap into other markets. And then there's also non-stable coins like Bitcoin. So if you have $50,000 in Bitcoin and it's just sitting in your Coinbase account or it's sitting in your wallet, how can we allow you to access that and earn from it? And we don't want to be the barrier to earning. We want to be the gateway to earning. So whichever chain, whichever protocol, whichever asset you have, we want you to have access in a way that's clear, transparent, and easy. So I think this year we're going to be leaning more into that, while still trying to keep the app simple, but we really want to give you the keys to exploring all, not just the select few that we have now. Because I think we've done a job of curating this in terms of beginning people getting onto these platforms. But we don't want to just cater to that demographic. We want Nook to be for everyone, including the more highly advanced earners, which a lot of which a lot of our customers have given us feedback on, which is great. So that's, I think, the short-term roadmap for 2026. In addition to that, there's always ways we can be better supporting you operation-wise. So tax forms, and really just better accounting. I think transactions and just more fidelity there is going to be helpful. We've heard that a few times. We're building it now into the app. It should be rolling out in the next couple weeks. And then just also better ways to on-ramp, off-ramp, speeder transactions. I think there's always the element of how do you move money on and off Nook. We've come a long way since launch. We've streamlined a lot of our systems, but that doesn't mean that we can't improve it in terms of delays and information that we ask of you. We want to make this process as simple and as safe as possible, and we think we can cut that time down significantly in the future. So that's our main focus going forward. We just always want to make this an easy but powerful product for you to earn, so we achieve our mission together of higher earnings. We can't achieve higher earnings without you. I mean, this is built for you. So stay tuned. We'll keep kind of cranking on this roadmap ahead. And if you have any questions, again, I'm Joey. I'm the co-founder of Nook. You can reach us at team@nookapp.xyz. And really excited for your feedback as we grow and continue to build out the 2026 roadmap. Talk soon.